This is one of the ways you stand up to fascism. You mock it. You call it out. People stand together and unite against it. That's in Washington, D.C. That is how Washington, D.C. residents are warning each other about ICE raids in their community or about National Guard raids in their community by playing Star Wars Imperial March. Speaking about Star Wars Imperial March, Donald Trump, just like Kim Jong-un, just like Putin or Stalin or you name the dictator, he's putting his images on buildings all across Washington, D.C. If you drive through Washington, D.C. now, you'll see National Guard and military and Donald Trump's face on buildings. Just take a look at what Donald Trump looked like yesterday. I mean, he looks like an Oompa Loompa on steroids at this point, a bloated Oompa Loompa. Then you take a look at his hand. He's literally decomposing before our very eyes. Another shot of his hand right here. Release the damn health records, Donald. And from coast to coast, where MAGA Republicans are showing up to town halls, which I should note is very, very rare, only a few, we've seen them get booed mercilessly. For example, here's Missouri's 4th Congressional District Congressmember Mark Alford. Here's what his constituent had to say. Here, play this clip.
You're not helping me. Believe me, you're not helping me. You need to take your head out of Trump's ass and start doing your representation of us.
After this video, in about 90 minutes, I'm going to drop a full version of the town hall with Mark Alford in Missouri's 4th, a ruby red district. I want you to take a look at that in 90 minutes. I cover everything that went down at that town hall. This about sums up Donald Trump's view about our country and about the fact that he doesn't value our democracy one bit. Donald Trump was asked, so you say you're going to now change the name of the Department of Defense to the War Department. By the way, you advertised yourself as the peace president, which is obviously a lie, but the War Department, don't you need Congress to do that? To which Donald Trump responds, we're just going to do whatever we want to do. We don't need Congress for anything. Here, play this clip.
And on the Department of War, how do you plan to do that? It requires an act of Congress to rename the Defense Department to the Department of War?
We're just going to do it. I'm sure Congress will go along if we need that. I don't think we even need that, but if we need that, I'm sure Congress will go along. You know, that was the name when we won World War I, we won World War II, we won everything, and just to me seems like just a much more appropriate. The other is defense is too defensive, and we want to be defensive, but we want to be offensive too if we have to be. So it just sounded to me better, really like a better name. Yeah.
Now, yesterday during Donald Trump's bizarre press conference with the president of South Korea, where Donald Trump went on various rants about how he loves Kim Jong-un, and Donald Trump was talking about Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, was like, I hate the range, Jack Smith. One of the things that Donald Trump announced was that his regime was going to let into the country immediately 600,000 Chinese students. So I just want to get this straight. You haven't even deported 200,000 migrants yet, but you're about to let in 600,000 students from China when in China they've only allowed in 469 Americans. Isn't this exactly the opposite of what you said you were going to do? So now 600,000 China students get to take the positions of the American students at colleges. MAGA, you got to explain this to me, MAGA. Here, play this clip.
President Xi would like me to come to China. It's a very important relationship. As you know, we're taking a lot of money in from China because of the tariffs and different things. And it's a very important relationship. We're going to get along good with China. I hear so many stories about we're not going to allow their students. We're going to allow their students to come in. We're going to allow, it's very important, 600,000 students. It's very important. But we're going to get along with China. But it's a different relationship that we have now with China. It's a much better relationship economically than it was before. With Biden, boy, what he allowed that, I mean, they just took him to the cleaners.
Even the far right-wing accounts like End Wokeness or Disclose TV are like, what the hell is this? What are you even doing right here? Laura Ingraham, Fox State regime propaganda, she was beside herself. She brings on Howard Lutnick, Donald Trump's commerce secretary. Lutnick, a total bootlicker. And Lutnick's asked by her, what are you doing here with these 600,000 Chinese students? That doesn't really make sense based on everything you've said. So you're allowing immigrants in if Xi Jinping tells you to do it? Like, explain this one to me. And Howard Lutnick's like, that's the genius of Donald Trump. That's why he's so smart. He takes a pragmatic perspective. We want the smartest people. And the smartest people, they're from China. We don't want like stupid Americans in college. We want the smart people. They're from China. Here, play this clip.
Mr. Secretary, with all due respect, how is allowing 600,000 students from the communist country of China putting America first?
Well, the president's point of view is that what would happen if you didn't have those 600,000 students is that you'd empty them from the top. All the students would go up to better schools, and the bottom 15% of universities and colleges would go out of business in America. So his view is he's taking a rational economic view, which is classic Donald Trump, looking at higher education and saying,
but why are you
until
helping
we
Harvard?
Modify that.
That just
What's
helps
that?
Harvard and UCLA and UCal Berkeley and I mean you're all helping those schools. Why? They're like, basically factories of anti-American propaganda. And now they're getting a big influx of cash because of the Chinese students. I know President Trump has always been very pro-Chinese student. I just don't understand it for the life of me. Those are 600,000 spots that American kids won't get.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm involved in. I'm involved in changing the H-1B program, right? We're going to change that program because that's terrible, right? We're going to change the green card. You know, we give green cards. The average American makes $75,000 a year, and the average green card recipient, $66,000. So we're taking the bottom quartile. Right. Like, why are we doing that? That's why Donald Trump is going to change it. That's the gold card that's coming. And that's we're going to start picking the best people to come into this country. It's time for that to change.
I think our American engineering students need to be given the first role at every job. And I think they're brilliant when given half a chance.
It's like the worst Howard Lutnick impression by me right there. But not as bad as this weirdo. Play this clip.
Body after body after body after body.
Yeah, I mean, again, total weirdo there. That's what he was doing last night, Stephen Miller. Dude, shut up. You know, one of the biggest failings of this nation is allowing these losers like Stephen Miller, these freaking weirdos who should not be anywhere, and dangerous people too, who should not be near any proximity of power. Just go back to, I won't even say, I was going to say go back to your basements, basement dwelling people. But what the hell is wrong with these people? Here's Kristi Noem saying, "You've all been liberated. I've liberated you. You are free. DC is liberation." Here, play this clip.
And so the American people are feeling freedom again. I think they lived under the oppression of Democrat rule in so many of these cities. They forgot what it felt like to actually be free and to be safe. But now, for the last 11 days in DC, people are feeling different, and they recognize what America used to be, and they want it back permanently. So these Democrat governors, they need to wake up because the people in their communities and in their cities recognize how they've threatened their way of life, and they're not going to take it anymore.
Again, these are sociopaths. What in the world are you talking about? And then Stephen Miller goes on State Regime Media and says, "Everyone's free. You are living the best life now, thanks to Donald J. Trump." Everybody, here, play this clip.
President Trump has literally set the people of Washington, D.C. free. They're so happy now that they can just go out and live their lives, go to their favorite restaurant, go to their favorite bar, go to their favorite pool hall, go to their favorite park. You see moms taking kids out to parks they haven't been to in years because they know the police are there. They know that President Trump is there with his law enforcement to protect them. It's a thing of beauty, Sean.
Again, what the hell is going on here? Okay, you sent the National Guard and you federalized the DC police. Many people are not even going to restaurants and sitting outside anymore. and you're out there saying that you've liberated America. I mean, these people are actually, like, I'm not being hyperbolic. You know, sometimes people are like, oh, Ben, I know your titles, you call them deranged, and I'm not sure they're deranged. They're deranged. These are the most deranged, vile human beings I can think about. You tell me, you put in the comments better language than deranged about these people. And it's such projection too that Trump's like, deranged Jack Smith. You mean like a career smart, brilliant prosecutor who prosecutes war criminals at The Hague, who was beloved at the Department of Justice before you destroyed it? Oh, he's deranged, but not Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem and these crazy people in your regime. As Platinum Sombrero says, comically third world string of activities. Just look at the Newswire from last night. Trump fires Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, unlawfully, I might add, by lying and saying she committed mortgage fraud, for which she's not being criminally prosecuted for, because Trump had his hatchet man, Bill Pulte, who runs the Fair Housing Administration and Fannie and Freddie Mac, fire or say that she was engaged in mortgage fraud. And then Donald Trump wants to get rid of her so he can control the Federal Reserve. She says, I ain't leaving. You can't fire me. What the hell are you even doing? So you have that headline, Donald Trump attacking the independence of the Fed. Trump administration warns schools that using essays, geography, or other unlawful proxies for race to promote diversity is illegal, reports the Wall Street Journal. Donald Trump says ABC, NBC News must immediately lose their broadcast license. Oh, and then Trump's approval rating falls to 41% in deep red Alaska. Meanwhile, the same way I started this video by showing mockery of the Trump regime, Gavin Newsom mocking Trump regime and MAGA losers, just like Ron DeSantis. Hannity and DeSantis were saying, come on, Gavin, let's debate Ron DeSantis again. We'll do another debate on Fox. To which Gavin Newsom just responds, ha, 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 ha. You have Donald Trump's White House senior advisor for trade and manufacturing posting selfie videos on his official account yesterday doing this.
I mean, I can't figure that out. That guy couldn't even bench press his weight, which was pathetic. And I'm twice his age. I don't know what this guy's going to be doing when he's my age.
Meanwhile, you have Donald Trump's National Economic Council head advisor, Kevin Hassett, saying that he thinks it's a great idea for the United States to be seizing the means of production of companies, seizing something, and that something you're seizing is the means of production. You seem like communists. You seem like communists. Here, play this clip.
Okay, so we should expect the U.S. government to be taking more equity stakes in businesses around the country. That is something that if you're a CEO this morning watching us, you should say, okay, the Sovereign Wealth Fund may be coming and trying to effectively buy in some kind of equity stake.
It's possible. Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, that if in the past the federal government has been giving money away lickety split to companies, and the taxpayers have received nothing in return. And so now what's happening with the Intel deal is the CHIPS Act money is going out as planned, but instead of it just going out and disappearing into the ether, the U.S. taxpayers are getting a little bit of equity. I can really not see how anyone would think that's a bad thing.
Okay, and here's the video of communism in action. You have Howard Lutnick with the head of Intel as the United States seizes the production of Intel. Just think about what's happening. Trump unlawfully fires a Federal Reserve governor. Trump seizes a part of an American chip manufacturer company, and they make weird videos like this. Here, play this clip.
I'm sitting with Lip-Bu in my office, and at 3 o'clock, we're going to sign a document together in the Oval Office where the United States of America will own 9.9% of the great American technology company Intel.
All at the same time, Donald Trump now claims that he's getting $950 billion from Europe when he's getting donut hole, zero, no money. What are you talking about, crazy? This is what he said yesterday. Play this clip.
The biggest deal ever made is the one with the European nations, as you know. The Europe deal is the biggest deal ever made. I think it's the biggest deal ever made, period. and they pay us $950 billion coming into this country and lots of other things. They're going to buy $750 billion worth of our oil and gas and all of the other things. So it's amazing. Our country is doing so well. We're so strong now.
Governor Pritzker addresses Donald Trump, mocking Pritzker's weight, and says, I don't know, Donald, you seem like your body's falling apart. What are you going after me for? Here, play this clip.
From my perspective, it takes one to know one on the weight question. And the president, of course, himself is not in good shape. So he ought to respond to that from me. I would say also that his personal attacks on me are just evidence of a guy who's still living in fifth grade. He's the kind of bully that throws invectives at people. And because he knows that what he's saying is actually commentary on himself.
And then, of course, Donald Trump says he'll figure out what happens with Russia and Ukraine in 2 weeks. Play the clip.
There has not been a war like this since the Second World War. This is the biggest thing that's happened in terms of warfare, wars. It's a whole new form of fighting. It's a drone fighting. It's a drone war. No, a drone war never existed before. And we're actually studying it from the standpoint of Pete Hegseth and everybody. We're studying it and studying it very carefully. This is a whole new form of war, but it's a violent war, and there has been nothing like this since the Second World War. So we'll see what happens over the next week or two, and at that point I'll step in very strongly, and if I have to be there, I'll be there. And we'll either have a deal or we won't.
There you have it, folks. Crazy stuff. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Dangerous stuff, too. We're going to call it all out, though. It's okay to mock it, too. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. New Meidas merch. Head to store.MeidasTouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.